Good afternoon. You're watching ISTV English News. I'm Subala Kangabum. And in the top stories we have, people begin to feel the pain of economic blockade and counter-economic blockade in Manipur with anguish. The news in detail. Even as the indefinite economic blockade launched by the All Tribal Students Union Manipur (ATSUM), pressurizing the state government to fulfill its various demands, has ended the third day today, people in the state have already begun to feel its blow. Meanwhile, expressing strong protest in terms of actions against the trend of calling economic blockade frequently for some or other demands in Manipur, certain other organizations have also started a counter-economic blockade. The organizations enforcing the counter-economic blockade reportedly pulled down goods, including essential commodities, from vehicles bound for some places in the Hills district yesterday. The ATSUM is demanding, among others, regularization of the school teachers posted in the Hills district and reservation of seats for the tribal people in the appointment of jobs in the Jenims and the Manipur Legislative Assembly, etc. However, yesterday, Chief Minister Okram Ibobi had told the media person that the agitation of economic blockade called by the ATSUM is unreasonable and that it could be solved through talks. On the other hand, office bearers of ATSUM had said that the union does not really want to launch such agitation that would make the people suffer. But as the government does not do anything until an intense agitation like the economic blockade is resorted to, the union has been compelled to call the economic blockade, the office bearer has said at the press meet held recently. Meanwhile, different sections of the people have asked the government to bring an amicable solution to the problem of economic blockade and counter-economic blockade at the earliest before the issue gets out of hand and reaches the point of no return. An awareness program on the theme Skill Development for Students on Substance Abuse Prevention, organized by the Rural Health Organization Naremthong under the aegis of the United National Office Drug and Crime Austria, was held at CH Thambo Macha High School, Lamboy Khongnangkhong today. Around 44 students took part in the awareness program. The indefinite protest demonstration by the students of Haikakpokpi Blind School, Chandal District, on the demand for providing proper infrastructure has ended the third day today. A hunger strike was launched by the students yesterday. Former Minister B.D. Bering, DC of Chandal KSH Robert, visited the site of protest. DC of Chandal KSH Robert said that even though their demands are legitimate, the same cannot be turned into action at once. He appealed to the protester to call off the protest. Despite several proposals to the government regarding the matter by the principal of the school, the government has not paid heed to the request and is remaining as a mute spectator, the protester said.
15 June tarik pun taruk sida. Blind school kisu. Shoidna budget happy dragadi ni hana lak thok dragadi. Aya ba pi dragadi phong jang si. Sang basi handu pro angang singgi promise ama wherever ni.
Eminent economist Professor N.G. Mohendro has said that the budget session of the Manipur Legislative Assembly, commencing from tomorrow, must lay more emphasis and should try to place the outcome budget instead of the outlay budget. He said this during an exclusive interview with our joint editor Jit Ningomba at our ISTV studio. He first said it is not appropriate to lay or table the financial statement only in the House during the session.
Budget should have other side of the coin. Chumnagi Pashakara, financial statement, Amakaraka Tambado, Adu di Lali. Adu the Taina, Tawaponi, Manipur Gumba, Yam, Sokot Palak, Lashu Haveda, 80% Yoruba, La Masida Diaba, ID, outcome budget Yogdabasya, Mashi 2 put you medically. For example, Madu Toromot of the leakage may am Torane, corruption may am Torane, transparent, we get them accountable, Mayama in a Kadurieva. Madu Punamatuna tenable work on the question that's my Tony say, budget is the stack of the Madubuna in a policy direction. I just say. Aduna, I was about with the lady, visited the outlets in a Ayambo in a toy. Segay cross Todori, Sahi Sukta, Namuk Sahi the Sumaitowi, 10%, 20%, that is beaten track. Madu. Mi puno mana khanga ba aduga koi taning da borom da haraga ko ma si de hanai duni da kasi ta da su ya bo pone de na phawe ba
On the other hand, the professor also said, budget has to bring a change in the whole economy of the state. However, people are not interested in our state budget. It is very unfortunate. In this session, if the outlay and outcome budgets were placed together, that will give something new to the budget, Professor Mohendra opined.
Yamna achoba impact kama cascading effect kama pi se budget pi ka dabne budget ki impact haru radi akoi manipur de shule lei tabu male ane prajana su thawoi de department su thawoi ba khara wali ade ya khang ngai na su amuram da thawoi budget ai basi yamaru phone once machine logi ba decision je chahi ma hong roi dabne khara hong ba ye appropriate ki heng tor pu tam da koi gi December ka do da muk taw do adura khara here and there atho hen ki khara tawbi ai but lambi du ta kadam ne aduna handa ki budget sida aina thaman janing badi outlay budget ka outcome budget ka se punna thambiu madung ta nai ne chef madu thor kane karmai to guda ke
I'm ready.
Telero.
Editor ka leithe.
Some say hujik pudi perfectly straight ado kankhar kandadi freezy.
Relax. Perfectly straight.
Aina semi anauba sunsilk perfectly straight with straight lock technology maramdi. Some kankraba matung dasu align straight oina leina bagidama.
Wow, hujik su straight oirina.
Straight and gorgeous. Sunsilk perfect straight. Lock top you, rock top you.
And moving on to some national and international news. Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raji continued her silence on the massive political storm that has engulfed her, speaking about the state development at a public function this morning, but refusing to answer questions on an affidavit that the Congress has brandished demanding her resignation for supporting Lalit Modi, a man wanted in corruption cases in India. Sources in Ms. Raji party, the BJP, said top leaders from Delhi, including Union Minister J.P. Nadda, have been tasked with talking to her. But the party is carefully avoiding signs of panic like a flurry of meetings or summoning the Chief Minister for an explanation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is to launch 3 flagship schemes today for urban revamp. The project stars Smart Cities Mission, Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation Amrut, and Housing for All. The 48,000 crores rupees Smart City mission is aimed at applying smart solutions to improve infrastructure and service delivery in cities. The idea is to develop the overall quality of life for citizens. The Amrut mission, worth rupees 50,000 crore, aims at developing infrastructure in 500 cities with population of over 1 lakh. It ensures basic infrastructure like sanitation, drinking water, solid and waste management, and transport. Housing for All missions will enable decent houses to all the needy, particularly the economically weaker sections and low-income group. The mission will be taken up in all the 4041 notified towns across the country. It promotes slum-free cities. The water level in Jhelum River crossed the danger mark at Sangam in South Kashmir early this morning, as most parts of the valley were lashed by incessant rains since Wednesday. A flood alert has been sounded for Anantnag and Pulwama district, with the weather department predicting more rains in the region over the next 48 hours. The water level in Jhelum and its tributaries rose sharply following heavy rainfall since Wednesday morning. People living in areas prone to flood in the 2 districts have been advised to shift to safer areas. In Pakistan, over 1,200 people have died in Sindh province due to a heat wave. Major hospitals in Sindh capital, Karachi, are struggling to cope with unprecedented influx of patients seeking treatment for heart stroke-related illness. The death toll in Karachi alone has reached 1,000, with more than 200 people reported dead in other parts of the province. A state of emergency is in force in all hospitals. The provincial government has cancelled leave for doctors and other staff and is increasing stocks of medical supplies. President Barack Obama said that his administration had too often failed the families of U.S. hostages held overseas by groups like the Islamic State, announcing a policy overhaul that will publicly state for the first time that the United States government can communicate and negotiate with hostage takers. Obama said the government would not change a long-standing policy against paying ransoms to terrorist groups, a stance that he acknowledged had become controversial as terrorist threats have evolved and kidnappings have become more common. But he said he was making clear that the rule does not prevent communication with hostage takers by our government, the families of hostages or third parties who help these families. Speaking in the Roosevelt Room of the White House shortly after signing a presidential directive and executive order laying out the changes in the hostage policy, Obama also said families should not be threatened with criminal charges if they try to pay ransoms. And before we wind up the top stories once again, people begin to feel the pain of economic blockade and counter-economic blockade in Manipur with anguish. Well, thank you so much for joining with us and stay tuned for more news.